Hello friend, welcome back to Diesel Mercedes YouTube channel. You are looking with me at the 2007, it's a Dodge Sprinter 2500. This one has approximately 209,000 miles, and this beast is leaking from about everything. Automatic transmission pan is wet with the ATF fluid. The engine oil is also leaking pretty a lot. There will be always a bunch of droplets of that black soot engine oil. You know where that is going, unfortunately. That will be the oil cooler in the valley. Difficult job. But it also drips on the floor. When it was sitting here overnight, there will be a bunch of droplets from the power steering. There will be power steering fluid on the ground. And you all know that the power steering is not a red like on different cars when it's a transmission fluid. But what I'm finding on the ground is that slight yellowish / greenish color of the power steering fluid. This is the aftermarket, that Pentosin CHF11S. This is what belongs in it. Has an aftermarket possibility. Obviously you can use the Mercedes-Benz dealer's fluid. It will be more expensive. So let's go look together where this fluid is leaking from. For better access and visibility, I slightly move on the side this windshield wiper reservoir, which was just standing right here, so we have better view. This is the power steering fluid reservoir, the black thing in the center. I will try to work with the light and the camcorder in the same time for you so you can see something. And you remember probably in previous designs this reservoir, the way it was attached to the pump, there was that O-ring which was leaking, but apparently it's not a case on these Sprinters. On the Sprinters it's leaking from the power steering lines. And if you look on the top one, the one which is bent and is going to the cooler to the front, this is where I will be on that, where it's curving. That's where the drip will be originating, and it will be dripping down on that intercooler pipe which you see underneath, and from that it will be dripping on the ground. So let's go and look. I didn't touch it. I want to share it with you. Let's go clean it and let's go see from where the leak is originating and how it can be fixed. If you look with me on that power steering fluid, you can see how heavily contaminated it is, so that needs to go. I used my syringe here. I got some of it out. You see how black it is. Unfortunately, the design of that reservoir is so stupid, I can't remove more, so I will have to drain it on the bottom and make a mess. As I'm working on it, it's becoming more and more clear that the problem is with this hose. It still shows the Mercedes-Benz logo, but right here where it's connected to that reservoir, basically it's loose. Both of them, if you look also here after I clean it, or I can show you what's happening while I'm cleaning it. Look at this. It just keeps moving without basically any... Let me get there so you can see it. Do you see it? Right here. Without much of resistance. And then right here where there is that outlet of that power steering reservoir, I believe that's exactly where it was failing, where it was leaking. This hose should be replaced and ideally the clamp should be replaced with it. Here you can see it collecting, dripping in that little container, coming off that outlet from that reservoir. I believe that outlet is fine, it's not damaged. It was just old hose, and maybe the clamp was also maxed out and wasn't squeezing it enough. I think, despite the fact it's a Mercedes-Benz original clamp, I will be changing both of them. Here is another detail of that hose and those clamps. If you look at the detail, it's obvious the hose just couldn't keep up anymore. Will this focus on it or not? Doesn't want. But I will remove those clamps and you will see how badly, I will say, damaged the hose is. Here you can see that fluid, absolutely black, disgusting, contaminated, and it needs to be replaced, and the whole power steering system should be flushed. Another detail of the clamps removed. You can see actually, I will not say these are the best. Here you can see the protrusion in the hose itself, possible damage to it. I don't have a Mercedes-Benz dealer close by, so I grabbed one of my hoses I have as a supplies in my shop. This is 3/8 of inch ID. Hopefully you can see it. I have these fuel line clamps. They have a feature that the edges actually lift up, so they will not cut into that rubber. So I will install this. Hopefully it will be okay. If not, it will be replaced by OEM Mercedes-Benz part. So hopefully I can show you those new clamps and the hose installed. Do you see there, right? That's the fuel clamp, which should not damage that hose. Both of them are nicely tight. I cleaned everything, it's dry, so now I will fill it. The lost amount, which you can hear, it's not much, I will fill it. Unfortunately, I will be mixing the old with the new, but that will be part of my way to flush the system. But we will fill it right now using some very small funnel. Hopefully I will be able to show you that color. Oh yeah, do you see it? It's like a greenish, bluish fluid, right? Power steering fluid for these German vehicles, Mercedes-Benz. So I start her up after I put everything back. You saw that was all gone, missing. And good news, no leaks. Those hoses which were basically actively leaking, and the owner was putting the power steering there all the time. That's fixed. The hose is completely dry. You can trust me on that. The shiny stuff, it's the fluid from windshield wiper reservoir. While putting it back, you can see here that's the water from it. But the power steering is absolutely wonderful. No leaks. Yeah, that was great. No problems with any noises and so on. Everything's fine. So yeah, that was successful repair. I thought it will be worse. I'm learning sprinters. So I didn't know they completely redesigned the power steering reservoir attachment to the pump. It's via hose, rubber hose, very large, thick hose, and that wasn't leaking. It was actually one of these small ones. So apparently this is pretty common problem on these. That's what the parts guy said today. And I believe because of that, somebody will be able to diagnose and fix their problem really quickly. So thank you for watching, and be subscribed. I will be filming a lot of content on the sprinters for this channel in the future. Thank you for watching and have a great day, my friend.